Speaking of a team that won back a lot of people's trust last night, is the Atlanta Falcons. An interesting squad, I'll say that. Just a very interesting team. A team that's hard to place, especially in this NFC South that is looking surprisingly loaded outside of Carolina.
Yeah.
But you've got the Falcons and Kirk Cousins. We talked a little bit about how they were running their offense initially week one, and that they made the change week two. But they're facing Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs. And that is generally not a winning proposition. I mean, the Falcons are also playing on a short week. I should also keep that in mind. They're playing at home, but home, away, you're facing Patrick Mahomes. Not going to bet against Patrick Mahomes. Even if he makes it look ugly, they still will win. I think that the Falcons were lucky to escape Philadelphia with the win that they got, and I don't think they're going to be as lucky on Sunday against the Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. I think the Chiefs have, once again, even if they make it look ugly, they find a way to win at the last minute. And that defense plays solid when it needs to. It was one of the better defenses in the league last year, and there are still some questions this season and just the way that they've been able to, pressure the quarterback and stop guys. Lamar Jackson had a big game against them and then struggled mightily against the Raiders. So there are still questions about how good that defense can be. But once again, I'm not going to pick against the Chiefs in this game.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Spagnuolo is going to blitz the ever crud, whatever the word is, the ever snot loving crud out of Kirk Cousins. I think he's going to run for his life. I don't know. Philadelphia didn't seem like they blitzed Atlanta a lot on Monday. And I think we're going to see if Kirk is really healthy on Sunday night. And I still don't think he is. I think he's going to get beat up pretty bad. I like the Chiefs to cover -3.5.
Yeah.
One of the best aspects about the Chiefs so far that I've seen this year, obviously it's great to see them have like the pass game back. They lost Pacheco. He's out for a couple of weeks at least with a broken fibula, I believe, or a fracture in his fibula. They did bring in Kareem Hunt. Interesting to see how much juice he has left. But man, I think that defense is going to do some damage to Atlanta. And I think by the end of that game, we're going to be asking the same questions about Atlanta that we asked after week one is if Kirk is healthy, and is there really enough talent on the edge for Atlanta as well? I like Darnell Mooney, but is Darnell Mooney and Drake London enough? And then it doesn't seem like we're going to get too much more out of Kyle Pitts. So we'll see. I think Kansas City is going to dominate them on the defensive side of the ball. I think Kirk Cousins is going to struggle.
Here's the deal. When you got a game with Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs, they're going to set the tone by the way they play offense. Patrick Mahomes, you aren't going to be able to set the tone to Patrick Mahomes unless you're the 2021 Buccaneers defensive line, and the Chiefs offensive line just doesn't show up to play. That is one of the only times I've ever seen the game dictated to Patrick Mahomes. He'll control the game, and if this becomes a shootout, the Falcons are not keeping up with the Chiefs in a shootout. This Falcons team is not built for that. Kirk Cousins is not built to go against this Kansas City defense in a high-scoring game, which I believe this will be. I still think that the Falcons, while they've addressed some of their issues on defense, I still think that they're not going to be able to stand up to this Chiefs team. I think it's going to be a Patrick Mahomes high-scoring affair, and Kirk Cousins won't be able to keep up. So, we've talked about how we think that Kirk Cousins is deficient as a star quarterback in the NFL, how we were confused about that contract. And once again, I think anytime you got a guy coming off an Achilles injury, I'm going to have serious questions about his mobility. And I think you need to have some level of mobility if if you aren't totally surrounded by all-stars, and I don't think that's how the Falcons offense is situated, certainly not compared to the Chiefs or this defense. So once again, clash of styles. A ball control team has to do everything right to beat a team like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and I don't think they're going to do it. So I think the Chiefs score too many points for them to handle it. And that'll be on Sunday night.